Welcome to Champagne Sunday. I'm Lauren.
Hey, I'm Bonnie.
I'm Beth.
And we're going to talk about life
After divorce.
And living
The best life.
and the life you love.
Yes, living the life you love on that other side.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome.
How do you get rid of the things in your life that are causing you extra stress?
Yes, that is an excellent topic. So, Lauren, how do you get rid of the things? Well, and that can be something big, because that can be anything from the chaos in our houses, the little piles, the overfilled drawers, to people.
Well,
And
the
to-
things that you hold on to because maybe they would have significance
Later.
to your children
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
like pictures from your marriage or
Oh,
things like that.
okay. I have several things to contribute to this moment. So, because my stress is that my daily is so hectic because I have classes and rehearsals that I never get to do just normal human things. I feel like in general, I live basically a teacher and artist's life.
Okay,
And
but
I
what are
don't-
normal human things?
That I get to come home and do laundry or cook dinner and
okay.
just
Those
like-
things that you
Yeah.
must
Just
get, the I must get done.
yes, the things that I imagine that normal humans get to do most of the time that I don't get to do. I don't know. Maybe that's just me imagining. So, but when I had time off over holiday break, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to organize my home, get it together. And so that's what I did. I spent every day just decluttering, getting rid of the things that I didn't want anymore. And one of the things was this wedding picture of me and my ex. And then I looked at it again and I thought, I have this in digital format. Why would I save this canvas? I don't need to save this canvas. He doesn't need this.
Well, and in all reality, he would never put it on a wall anyway.
No. And so I took a picture of it and I threw it in the trash. And it was really it was very liberating. So I had some moments like that where I was like, I don't need to hang on to this anymore. This doesn't represent anything to me anymore. So just that decluttering process. And I got to the point at the end of holiday break where everything felt like it was really in place. And I also at this particular moment, I have an animal in my life who's causing me a lot of stress. And I spoke to my therapist about it, and she and I talked at length about how I'm not doing well because of the animal, but also the animal's probably not doing well because of me, and how
y'all are not serving each other.
How I need to resolve that and not feel guilty about resolving it, and how to take steps in that direction. So I don't know, just allowing myself the space, I guess, to recognize the things that are causing me extra stress and or the ability to let go of that. Allowing myself to let go of that.
It sounds like you've given yourself permission
to
be okay with the fact that
because-
you made this commitment to this animal and it's just not working.
Because the thing is, it's not just the animal, but just in terms of things. I recognize that the dog is a living thing, but just the stuff that we don't let go of, that we have trouble letting go of. And giving yourself permission to do that. We don't allow ourselves the space for that enough, I think, to recognize this is not working in my life.
I agree.
Whether it's stuff, whether it's another living creature, not like your children. That's not what I mean.
Well,
but
right.
The things that aren't working out for you, friendships even, anything that's not working out for you, for going, okay, I'm not moving forward with this. So what do I need to do to change this dynamic?
And I think I did that when I moved. When I changed physical locations and bought a different house. I was in a much larger house. And, I found things. My ex moved out, but didn't take things with him. So I found all kinds of things, like an outboard motor that I didn't know that we owned in the attic. Tons of coolers and trunks full of hunting clothes he didn't take with him. And for a hot second, I did feel like, ooh, he didn't take this. But at that point, it had been 3 years. And I thought if he wanted it or missed it, he would have called me or come to get it, and I had help, and we cleaned out the attic, we took it down the stairs and out onto my 3-car garage pad, and I told the helpers, you call your wives, your girlfriends, your kids, you can have anything you want, and the rest of it you can haul off to garbage, and I paid them.
Yeah.
And it was very cathartic just to have that. And lately I feel like I was really good at weeding through
Yeah.
a lot of things at the beginning when I got my energy back, not while I was going through the divorce. And now I feel like I've kind of cluttered some areas back, but I've had this huge urge to go through and sort things. But I've been reading things, and I think that universe is telling me it's time to declutter again, because I get all these messages like, if you don't purge the things that aren't serving you, you don't have any room to let anything new in. And I really do want something new. I want to have more joy. I want to have more peace. So if I'm going to have those things, I have to get rid of the things that might represent more negative or a past life that I'm not that person or living anymore.
So for me, it was like just like having the time to sort through everything. And at this point, at this moment in time, I have touched everything in my home. Like I know everything that's in my home, and everything that's associated with my ex-husband, or I know that he would want, I just kind of put it in a little pile, and then I'll send it home to him. Like if I think that he would want it. But it took me I've only had like 4 months, y'all, to
That's
do
huge,
it.
yeah.
So, but like at this point, I can't think of anything I haven't put my hands on to say like, this needs to go with him or with me,
Well, I have a bit of a different perspective, because I had to clean out my ex-husband's house. I kind of, when he passed away, I kind of became the wife in death again. But it meant that I had to take, and he wasn't that old. He was 54? So I had to take everything that he had owned and had been a part of him and look at my children and say, do you want this? Do you want to keep this? And then try and anticipate, as a daughter of people, what would it be that I would want at this point in my life?
Yeah.
Because they're young. They are so young. They're too young to make some of those
Right.
decisions. But at the same time, they are young enough to also know, I don't want Dad's yearbooks. And then
Yeah.
I had to look at getting rid of his yearbooks. You know what I mean? No, I don't want Dad's diploma from all, I don't need his Auburn diploma. Like, why would I need that? And I'm like, oh, wow. So for me, I'm looking at the decisions that my children had to make with regard to their father's things, and say, I don't want them to have to make those decisions about mine. I would rather get rid of my things now. The things that only, that I look at and think, oh, I'm keeping those for my kids. Well, no, my kids are not going to have room for everything that I think they should sentimentally love. And so it has been, so I have rearranged and started going through, I've worked on my downstairs over Christmas, and I need to work through my upstairs, but I've done a lot of cleaning out and purging of my own things that I've been holding on to that really only have significance to me. And if they've lost significance to me, then there's no reason for me to be holding on to them, because my kids will just have to look at it and then find another home for it, to toss it or make a decision. So I'm looking at it now as everything if I can pare my home down to only the things that I love, just him, that he had absolute joy over. He loved it. He was so excited when I purchased him this kitchen, this professional grade cutting board, which is ridiculous, but I didn't need it.
Yeah.
So I remembered his joy, and then I let it go.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah.
But then I also had the dog that passed recently, and realized how much animals take up space in our lives.
Yeah.
So I can understand needing to rehome.
Well, I have done everything I needed to do or everything I can think of that I have the physical ability to do. I don't have the physical ability to go beyond what I have.
Yes.
And I accept that. I accept that that's what's happened.
Well,
so.
I think in the case of pets, when I got divorced, I had lots of pets, lots of dogs, and I lived on 2 acres. And
Well, and that was
it
my
just
yeah. I
gets
did
to
that
me
too.
when you're in a relationship, when you're married, and you have two adults in the home with the children. It's easier to say, "Hey, did you feed the dog? Did you?" But when it's just you have to think about the outlay of time that it also takes. Carving out time. We all work. We all have
Right.
kids. We all have the responsibility of paying bills and taking care of our homes. If you have extra time, or you can make extra time, I'm a huge pet lover.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to realize and be realistic that is a carve out of time to go
Yeah.
to the vet, to go to, if you're going out of town, you have to have somebody to watch them. It's a huge thing, and the reward I get from my dogs right now is greater than the expense or the time that I put out.
Yeah.
But I only have two right now. I used to have 5.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that when you're in a relationship, how much time the other person
Right.
might contribute to walking the dog or feeding the dog.
Well,
or,
I think that's, for me, this is a little bit of change of topic, but just because mine is so new, like not having someone in my house with me to do other things is very new, like 4 months old. That I have recognized what that person did and have compensated for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you kind of have to
Yes.
shoot your
you
thinking
have
to
to
go,
absorb what you
this
want to do.
I need to do this extra thing a day and this extra thing a day. But in terms of a pet, when there's extra training involved or something like that you just can't, like, that you do not have the actual ability to do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's well, and to be and honestly, with your schedule,
Yeah.
the time to spend with a pet,
Yeah.
especially a dog that would need to be walked and to have all of this energy, and the dynamics in my house has changed because my one dog that spends time outside has just lost her companion that spends time outside, and that has changed my responsibility to that dog. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just everything just changes. But that's, I don't know. Pets can be a joy, but they have to fit into your life as well.
Well, you have to make sure you're doing them justice.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, because if you don't have time to spend with your pet, then your pet is better served with someone who does. And that's the brilliant thing is that I know that especially in our area, we have some excellent places that can rehome pets to places where they really fit. And so that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Here.
Well,
so
I
that we
think
have
in
a place
all
that
of
can take care
this,
that.
when you're making changes, this was a hard lesson for me to try to put my needs first.
Right.
What can I physically do?
But-
what can I
and that's-
emotionally do? And what can I mentally
But the
do?
guilt associated with putting your needs first is like,
It's
woo,
bad. It's really
it's
bad.
so big. It's so big.
It is because we're all raised in the South. and
Yeah.
You're kind of trained that you serve others. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, let's face it, this is probably a terrible statement, but when you become a wife, you give up your name, you give up part of your identity. You are serving someone, even if you work outside the home. Chances are the woman's going to do the laundry, do the grocery shopping, do the cooking. You are serving, and you want to.
Well, and that's the
You
traditional
want to
role
be.
is that we are
But you
to
want
help
to when
serve
you
the
when you
husband.
love someone, you want to serve them. But I think it's very hard when you've been in that role to wheel it back to what do I want? What makes me happy? What brings me peace? What do I realistically have time to accomplish?
Yes. Or if you've been with someone who's stolen that from you, or who's
Yes.
undermined.
Yes.
Well, someone
That-
who
that
was
it's
not an
not-
actual partner, because
Yeah.
to be
Right.
honest, at the kind of marriage that we all should have had, the biblical marriage that we all should have had, was a partnership,
Right.
not an I serve you, end of story.
Right.
It is an I serve you, you serve me.
Right.
It is that mutual love thing, and I don't think
I don't
any
think-
one of us
No.
experienced that.
Any
No.
of us had that.
No, so
'Cause
so
I
when
was
that's
the
not what
GR.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're the person that gives the 110%, and then you wheel off and it's you, I guess for other people, we've kind of recognized what we had to do
Okay.
to rearrange. But
For me, rearrangement wise, when the split happened, I recognized there were like two things I had to figure out. One was taking out the trash, and the other was setting the dishwasher.
That was
And
it.
that was it. That was it. There wasn't anything else that I thought I got to figure out how to do this. That was it.
Wow.
Yep. So curious, what did you guys
I had to figure out financials.
Well, financials on your own is a very different
Yeah,
thing.
because it was
Yeah.
my ex made a significant amount more than I did, and so and I never really had, I had to figure out how to budget on my own, how to take what I made and make it work for me and my kids, and to be able to make a house payment and all of that. So that was my hugest thing that I had to figure out. But I mean, after that, I planned all of the meals. In fact, I saw a TikTok not long ago that was like, okay, yes, you're so great, you cooked dinner, but did you make the grocery list? Did you decide what it was y'all were eating for the week? Did you all of these other things? I was like, well, my ex would cook, but I was the one who planned what we cooked, and I made the grocery list, and I did the grocery a lot of the times. You know what I mean? He did some of that, but for the most part, there wasn't really. Well, I guess it was the honeydews.
Yeah.
The toilet broke. How do I fix the toilet? It was that kind of thing. The air conditioner broke. Who do I call? Yeah. Well, that's so. But at the same time, when we moved into this house, my daughter's toilet broke like within the first couple of months. And she was like, I'm going to call Dad. And I was like, why don't we Google that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sitting there thinking, I wanted my daughter to be able to feel like she could reach out to her father at any point in time that she wanted to. And then I, as a divorced woman, was going, but I also don't want that man who was my ex-husband necessarily to come into my house.
Right.
yeah.
And then third, it was, I want my daughter to feel like she is empowered to fix anything in her life, including the toilet. So I was like, let's Google that. She Googled it. She figured out what she needed. She went to Lowe's and purchased it. She came back and she fixed her toilet on her own.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we just kind of started doing little things like that in order to, so when I had another issue, it was, okay, do I call, we picked up the phone to call my ex-husband, and I'm like, do I do that?
Yeah.
No. I put the phone down and I called my best friend and say, hey, would you ask your husband? Who would he recommend that I call in order to come and fix this? And just trying to kind of get myself used to no longer being dependent on this person that I had spent 23 years being dependent on.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's a little different.
Okay.
I'm sure it is.
Because I was the fixer person.
Yeah.
I was the budget person. I was the honeydew person. My biggest thing, I think, was how to stop doing that and ask someone for help.
Phone?
Do you know what I'm saying? I was never a call someone
Oh,
for
was it
help. I was a very independent, I can do
I can do anything.
everything. Well, I did everything.
Mhm.
Like you had to,
Yeah.
oh no, I fixed my own dishwasher and
Yeah.
I fixed my own washer. And if I had asked my ex, he wouldn't have known who to call because I handled
Everything.
He made the money and I did everything else. So mine was more, how do I get back time for myself and how do I fix the budget so that I can call somebody to help me instead of thinking that I had to do everything
Mm-hmm.
all the time 100%.
Yeah.
So I had to reclaim time and I had to rethink how I thought about
Yeah.
getting things done. And
I-
that was hard. That was hard.
Yeah. I kind of had a cooking renaissance because I never really saw myself as a cook because my ex, like the basics of cooking, he taught me. My ex taught me the basics of cooking. But I faced a lot of criticism anytime I would cook. So I just didn't do it. Like I was too nervous to cook. And so I thought I didn't like it. Well, then I got divorced and then I had to cook and I realized this is really relaxing.
Yes.
I actually really enjoyed this, especially when someone's not over my shoulder telling me what I'm doing wrong, you know? So that was another just like that's something, and again, this is really recent, but just things that have broadened, I guess, for me. Things that I've had to learn to just go with, you know.
Well, and I missed that. My ex was an excellent cook. He didn't
Really?
love doing it, but he was so good.
No,
at
my
making
ex
Cajun
is a
things.
very
And I do miss his meals.
my ex is a very good cook too, but I had when I did it, I had no like self-efficacy, I guess, in terms
Yeah.
of cooking because of the criticism.
There was too
of it.
much judgment.
Yeah, and it made me so nervous to make a mess or anything like that.
I do not miss the judgment.
No.
Well,
I could go
I
without
have
judgment
fun.
in relationships. I
Yeah.
don't think I have been in a relationship yet that was not full of judgment.
well, I have fun with my judgment because you know it's gonna be on my tombstone.
What?
My ex, well, you know, is a doctor, and I'm just a nurse. So which anybody knows me knows I do more than just that, but that's gonna. I've already told my kids that's gonna be on my tombstone.
She was just a nurse.
So that's what I tell my patients now. I don't handle the financials. I don't know anything about your file. I'm just a
Just a
nurse.
nurse.
That's
Just a
so
nurse.
So that is my.
That's pretty funny.
That is
Pretty funny,
funny.
Bev.
So let's finish up with what have you done or will you do this week to create a life that you love?
Well, I got to go to work and memorize lines this week.
That is not creating a life you love. That is an obligation.
But that's feeding her theater.
It is
Sorry.
feeding my creativity.
Is there anything you can see that you're looking forward to that's just sort of peace? It's just for you to help
No.
you kind of get through all of that.
Yeah, my time with my child and my boyfriend will be that this week. Like
That's
I
right.
have to do so much work this week, but like they'll be my
That'll
be my fun time this week.
your little
Yeah.
beacons.
Yes.
All right, what about you?
I'm not traveling the first part of the week, so
Woohoo.
I am painting.
Yay!
I'm excited about it. And then I'm going to finish up my needlepoint. I'm putting more, and y'all can laugh at me, but I'm trying to do 8 hours of sleep. I'm trying to prioritize my resting.
No, that's
and sleep
amazing.
time.
No, that's big.
That
I
is
would
huge
love
because
to
I
be
think,
able to do that.
I think I will get over this
Yeah.
congestion that
Yeah.
I have, and I think that I will feel better
Yes.
if I can do that.
Yes.
That's just part of my get
I-
healthy thing. But,
I might jump on that with you. What time does that mean you're going to sleep?
well, I'm probably over it right now.
Like 10?
Yeah, 10 to 6. But I try to get up at 5. I'm trying to do the 5 a.m. club. So,
Oh, I will never.
I would like
I
to
get
do the
so
6
much
a.m. club.
done.
I'd be thrilled with that.
well,
Remember
I
when we
am
used
a 6
to run? Remember we used to get up like early in the morning to go run, and I was like, "What? Who? What?
I think
who am I
that's-
pretending to be
That is
right
when
now?
I first met you.
This is not
was
me.
we met at Delano
No.
running.
I'm a night person. I'm far more willing to go run right now. I would go run right now if you wanted me to. And what time is it?
Oh, I have no idea. It is 9. It's only 9:30, guys.
I'll go right now if you want. I'll
Well,
do
y'all
3
can
miles.
laugh at me.
I will walk 3 miles with you this second
My
if you
alarm-
ask me
My
to.
alarm went off
But
an
not
hour
at
ago.
5.
I heard it. Your
8:30.
little ding. If y'all
So,
listen
like,
back in here, you'll hear the
start
ding for her to
at
go to
8:30.
sleep.
And I've set my little alarm to remind me at 8:30. Make your way to the bathtub. Make your way to the
This is the
bathtub.
moment.
This is
Go.
You'll be
Go.
rested. You'll be bright-eyed and
It'll
bushy-tailed
feel so
tomorrow.
wonderful in the morning.
How funny.
So, but I'm expected to be at my desk by at least 7:30 or 8. Now I have some people that text me and email me at 6:30, but
We ignore
No,
this
anyway.
until 7:30 or 8.
My classes this semester don't start till 11.
oh my
But
God.
I have I have rehearsals till later. It's far more. It's just more manageable for a
Right.
theater human.
Right.
Like we're just night.
For
We're
an
night
artistic
people.
human.
Right.
is
Yes,
what you
we're
mean.
night people.
Yes.
We like.
Well, I could stay up
we-
all night and paint, but then I would be in
Yeah.
the trash for my actual job that pays me
Yeah.
and pays my health insurance in the morning. So
Well, I'm going to continue cleaning out my house because we have tomorrow
There we
off
go.
for Emily.
Yeah, I got to put my Christmas tree up.
yes.
Oh yeah. Well, and I haven't put all of my Christmas in the attic. I'm just trying. Like I've gotten my downstairs, I think, fairly organized
your
and
house
cleaned
looks
out.
fabulous.
But I need to do the same upstairs.
Yeah.
So that is kind of my thing, and I'm going to write this week.
Well,
I have,
you're inspiring me.
yes, well, I have some great ideas for this book that I have had in my head for a long time, and I've gotten some little bits and pieces, but. Events of the past couple of months have had me sort of morph and change. It's inspiration to change sort of the beginning of it. So I think I'm going to work on
Oh, I'm
that.
definitely going to start
Yeah.
writing my dating over 50 book.
Yes, you
I've
do.
already I have pages and
That's
pages
it.
down.
Now, mine is a 1920s book, but I have had some inspiration in the past couple of months on
I
how I
had-
can start it.
I
instead.
had an idea for a book title called Notes to Myself,
Oh, I love that.
and I don't have anything else but the title. But
So
I
now
think,
you need to create a
I
little
think
thing on
I'm
your
just-
phone that
I
says
think
notes
I'm
to
just-
myself and
yes,
start adding to
I think
it.
I'm just gonna like start writing notes to myself.
I love
Well, I
it.
think each dating experience is going to be a chapter, so that when I see them
Yeah.
later in life and it's a huge success, and I don't know, Sandra Bullock is playing me in the movie, then I'll say, that was chapter 7.
Can we just like
That was
hold-
chapter 3.
Can we hold the phone for a second? Sandra Bullock that would be who would play you in a movie.
Yeah,
I think,
think
so
so.
too.
well, she's a physical comedian, and can you not see me doing that Mustang
No, but
Sally and falling on
Y'all
my face?
have similar features. I could see
You're very
Cyrus
lucky I did
playing
not
you.
That
just
is-
snort
that
the
is so
champagne out my
mean.
nose.
That is so mean. And you can dress me up, but I'm still going to trip and fall on my face. And get back up and go, hey!
She's a good doppelganger for you though, like movie.
But I
wise.
think that'd be fun, because then, I can picture us all out eating at a fabulous awards
Yes.
show because the movie did so well. And then, somebody coming up and go, chapter 5. I think that would be hilarious.
Well, speaking of, I hope we are both inspired to write because we do have the writers' conference
do,
coming up.
and
We
I'm
have to have
so
something to
excited about
show
it.
In
before we
Asheville.
go.
Wait, did you?
Yes,
Did
in
you find
Asheville.
a spot?
Yes, I booked us somewhere.
Okay, where is it?
I don't know,
Okay.
but it's gonna be good.
It's like a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
it's
It's
in the
not a
Biltmore
hotel.
area,
It's
Biltmore-ish
not Grove
place.
Park. I've done that 1,000 times. It's not the Biltmore,
So-
and it's not.
But it's gonna be a great writers' conference. We're gonna have a great
Okay.
time.
Which I
You
love.
know, Zelda Fitzgerald died in a fire in Asheville, North Carolina, at a sanatorium there.
Yes.
Ooh, we need to go. Can we go?
We need to do ghost hunt.
It's still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
The place
The
is still
sanatorium
there.
is still there.
Yeah.
We need to go pay homage.
Oh no, we
Take
need to
some
go
flowers.
commune because she is my little soul sister.
I love
Okay.
Because she's married
I love
to my
Fitzgerald.
literary boyfriend.
Yes.
No, my word.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott. And I, if I was going to be married to an alcoholic, he is the one I
Yeah,
would choose.
he's the one.
There you
If
go.
only my ex-husband had been a little more literary, I could have had a little more. No, he is my alcoholic literary husband. So, anyway, all right. So, shall we
Okay.
clink?
All right,
We
cheers.
shall.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers to this
ladies.
week.
Cheers
All right,
here.
yes.
Let's make it count, girls.
Yeah.
Let's do. Thank y'all for joining us for Champagne Sunday.
See you next week,
See you
girls.
next week. Yeah, cheers.
Have a good week.
Yes.
Cheers.